Welcome to Tammy's Soul Speak, featuring animal intuitive and medium Tami Hendricks, offering insight, spirituality, transformation, and clarity to every soul. Now, here's Tami.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope wherever you are, the weather has been good. I've seen a couple of postings, like Patty Weeks, I believe you posted something about getting snow. So here in Asheville, it was 70 degrees today, and I'm barely seeing the signs of spring and the daffodils, white squirrels. So no bears yet, no bears yet, but I think they're on their way soon. So glad you're here. Um, Oh, Mariel, has it been really cold? Yeah, it has been up and down here as well. I think it's kind of confusing. The flowers don't know whether to come out, to hide, to do whatever. But it's been I don't know about you, but it's been a rock and roll February. It's been super busy. The animals have been very, very active, and as usual, as we um, round out to the show, it's like we're all gathering to a party, to a living room chat. I really like that. So the animals have been very active today. So Mariel, it's really good to see you. I appreciate your comment that all the little hearts in your life have brought you joy and companionship. Amen to that. They have for me as well. Hey, Karen. Windy and cold in California. Okay. Um, Goodness, it's like flipping from here, and it was cold last week. Hey, Tracy, it's good to see you too. Really good to see you. Hey, Greg, always good to see you. Thinking about you and thought you may be too busy to join, but I'm super glad you did. Um, Kat, let's see. The spiders don't know what's going on either. So true. I agree. Hey, Amy. Oh, good to see you. Hope Lucky's doing well and all the others. And maybe the friction between your two cats has resolved slightly. Um, hey, Patty, good to see you. I appreciate the photo of Sam. She sent me a really cute photo with his feathers all fluffed up, Sam the turkey today. Um, yes, Patty Weeks. Yes, rock and roll for sure. Um, hey, Katie, good to see you. And Britt, excellent. So good to see you. And hey, Leslie, hope Bobo is doing well. Didn't he just have a birthday, I think? Um, was that it was yesterday or the day before? You'll have to let me know. Hey, Deanna, it's cold there. I swear, I think when you guys have, like, if you're in the West, you have warm weather. We're getting the cold weather. It's all confused. Um, yes, Bobo turned 13 yesterday. Well, he thinks that he is very young, and he is, and extraordinarily handsome. So he says he still rocks his look. So always remember that. Hey, Diane, it's good to see you. John, good to see you. Oh, so good for you to join us. Um, and let's see, Patty, after Freckles died, Shadow died after a seizure. Patty, I read that and I am so sorry. They left almost on the same energy wave, which oftentimes animals will do that. I had a couple, as you guys know, that I shared back in, late last year. And I'm like, please slow down, like just go a little slower. Don't leave so fast. Um, Oh my goodness, a lot of losses then. Your husband's sister died. I am so sorry. That's really, really hard when we get smacked with so many losses at one time. Sending lots of support there. Lots of hugs and support. Um, hey, Brian. Oh, hey, Susie. It's good to see you. Oh well, yep, Amy. I figured Lucky's going to be an annoying little brother for a while. That's how that rolls. That keeps things interesting. Well, today's show talking about healing. I've been thinking about it for a while, and it's funny because I've been running into people talking about healing. So that's like it's in the air, and I think I would say, this is a show about animals and healing, but it's also, I want to say, healing in progress. Healing is always in progress. I know for me anyway, and the animals have always taught me so many different ways that we heal. So it's like we're all joining, and there's healers among us. We're all healers. And the animals certainly are that and consistently show us that. Kim, it's so good to see you. Kim's a wonderful, wonderful animal communicator, quite talented, and very good with looking at photos and seeing images within the photos. I'm trying to coax Kim to come join me on the show sometime. She's amazing. You'll love her. Hey, Kat, it seems like there's a significant amount of loss and stuckness lately. Perhaps animals can help us all. You know, I agree. In all areas, really. And the animals, I was on listening to Kelly last night, and she was talking about all the transition. And I said, the animals are right there with us in all that transition. And some are transitioning out. And I don't know if it's as much they aren't choosing to join us here as much as they've completed a path so that they can grow on to help us from another level. I've talked to a couple of people this week with animals that have done just that, so they get positioned to help us from a different realm and a different plane, because we're up leveling and we need all the help. I don't know about you, we need all the help we can get. So yeah, Braveheart left. He was actually attacked by a wild animal. Oh goodness, Connie. Is he okay? Knowing would help my husband heal. Connie, tell me, Braveheart, what happened? I mean, as far as Braveheart, cat, dog, and is that recent? Um, hey, Nanette, it's good to see you. Yes, John, I love that. Go for it, Kim. Um, so I'll wait. Connie, say yes. I feel our cat Louis. Is it Louis? Is a healer. Um, Yeah, Connie, why don't you elaborate a little bit on Braveheart, and I'll try to pay attention and answer. So you know, honestly, you all are so wise and experienced yourself that you know all the different ways. I mean, I've watched the animals as they've come to me over the years, and how they heal or how I've needed healing. And I was like, what are the signs that healing is in progress? And I received an email from somebody this week who had been grieving the loss of her dog terribly, and just was hard to get up every day, hard to move. And we talked about another dog coming in, and she says, I don't know. And then she sent me a photo of she keeps like trees, and like, not Christmas trees, but like a Valentine's tree. And every month she will decorate it differently. And right after she had decorated it and put her precious dog's photos and hearts all over it, she had one come in and she emailed me. She said, "Oh my goodness, this little dog came into my life. It's such a surprise. She needs help. She's so beautiful." And I'm going to reference one of my dogs later in a few minutes. She reminded me of Doodle, actually, my dog, but the look on her face was pure joy. And I thought, yes, healing is definitely in progress in a big way. Um, Hey, Elizabeth. Oh, you're incredible. I started following you a year or so ago. It's my first time catching you live. I'm so glad you joined. Um, I have a rescue pup with a trauma history and really want to help him feel his best. Oh, I love that. That is definitely my area, for sure, with trauma and animals, and how do you handle that, and what's the best way to support them? A lot of times we want to, if they're shaking, we get upset and we want to stop the shaking. And I always tell people that's the way they move energy in their bodies. And I probably told you all about Ollie, who's a little semi-feral guy I still have at 16 and a half. But he was completely feral when I got him, and he shook violently when I was in his presence. And I would just sit with him. I would just sit and let him shake, and he shook for hours. And this went on for weeks, until one day he looked up and he was like, "Wait a minute, I can shake and nothing's happening to me." So it's almost like it was a process his body needed to go through, but I didn't try to stop it. I just sat with it and was present. I held the space for it. So I can help you definitely with that. Tracy, my second grand puppy is transitioning starting 6 months after the first, suddenly this week. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, you'll have to give me more detail on that one. And Connie, he followed my husband and I everywhere. Where did I miss? Let's see, Connie, Braveheart left. Da, 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 da. Did you tell me Braveheart was? Hang on, I'm hunting for your well, I'll find it. Maybe you can maybe if you wanna call in later and we have a minute, you can. Yes. Catlin's like, yeah, we definitely have signs that healing is in progress. Susie, I've been healing the majority of my life. My cats through the years are what keeps me alive. All the horses I've worked with have kept me calm and loved. Now I work with cats and small animals at the shelter that give me a purpose in life. Even the more difficult cats who have been abandoned and left on the street. I relate to those cats after being abandoned by my own family. Oh my goodness, what an amazing setup it really is that the cats have been drawn to you and you've been drawn to them. And cats actually, their purr is one of the highest vibrations out there. I think David Hawkins ranked it 500 and above on his consciousness level. And the purr not only it's a healing, but it not only heals us if we're near it, but it resonates throughout the entire space. And I think I've mentioned before that cats are in charge of spaces, and so I love that you're able to work with them in a way that they feel safe. And I think the healing that you're experiencing goes both ways. So it's a very reciprocal give and take with the animals. And yes, I have been healing the majority of my life too. And I'm sure, all of us in some ways are healing and maybe not even realize we are. When an animal leans against us, maybe we needed that and we didn't even know it. That's, they put their bodies against us. I know Scarlett, my white lab, will lay her body against me for no good reason other than just like connect and touch. And it's very, very reassuring. Um, Connie, he was on the front porch 6 months ago. We heard something bang, evidence there was Rick's. Oh, I am so sorry that happened. It sounds like it was super sudden, super unexpected, and I'd have to ask you what was going on around the time that this happened. Maybe you can elaborate more. Elizabeth, Teddy shakes in the car, but he really wants to be in the car. Yeah, it goes both ways. So that's why I'm like, let them shake. He's fine. I had somebody saying, well, my dog, like, he wants to, like, crab crawl his way to me, and that bothers me. You should be walking. I was like, So let the dog do that. Just don't make a big deal out of it. And he'll decide to walk differently, and he did. It's just we freak out sometimes over what we see as them being upset or suffering. I talked to somebody today and she said, I'm a little concerned because my dog barks at night and in her sleep. What is she doing? She, sounds like she's yelping. And when I connected with the dog, she told me that first of all, she didn't mean to be waking her mom up, but secondly, she was sort of unaware of it. She said she goes into like a deep trance and her body is ridding itself of energy and it comes out that way. So it's almost like a release for her. And now that she's done it so long, it's not only release, but it's a pattern of release. So sometimes it just takes us understanding what those heal the healing is going on in the release that could come in the form of the barking in the middle of the night that we're like, what's wrong with you, what's wrong? So it's an interesting when you start really looking into how we heal, how we shake off energy. The animals are masters at teaching us that. um, Lisa, that can explain why I'm missing what I'm missing in my family with the animals. Okay, you're gonna have to. I missed something in that. Oh, we had him from birth. 2 years old. I posted a baby photo of him in a boat. I am so sorry for your loss. It feels to me that it was something. Yes, it was sudden, but also there was more of a purpose in his exit at the timing of it. So, maybe you can shoot me an email, and I'll see what I can do to help. And Kat, I can still feel Wiley purring when we put him to sleep due to a malignant facial tumor. It was the only thing that let me get through it. It is so amazing. The animals move with such grace and beauty, and they help us more than anything else. And they don't resist healing. That's the thing I was thinking about today. They don't resist healing like we do. And so I've always looked at the animals and tried to learn from them and see how they get quiet, how they conserve their energy, how they um, I've always liked stout necks. I like to hug necks. So if I have a lab, I like to hug the neck. Horses, Patty Evans, you would know this, and Susie, the horses, their beings are so sturdy that they lend a stableness to us, and we may not even realize we need it. Um, Oh, let's see. That's pretty cool, Leslie. Lucid dreaming at night, where you work through things in your subconscious. Yes, and again, I've told you so many times that animals will come to us in dreams. But as far as and they can heal us through dreams. Actually, I think I told you that Katie showed up to me many times in a dream. Murphy has, Remy has, and so Leslie, I'm sure you could call in spirit animals, all kinds of things through your dreaming that would, help with your ongoing healing in life. That's a wonderful, thing to actually have mastered. So that's good. I don't know if a lot of us can do the lucid dreaming, but it sounds like you've practiced it. So I do believe you can connect through that way very easily. Um, and Tracy, Kara, I'll call her Mama Kara, as she takes care of my son, was noted to be healthy like a 4-year old 6 months ago when Alton passed. This week, neuro something has taken her use of front legs, noted by vet to keep her comfortable till she can no longer get up at all. Could be days or weeks. Broken heart syndrome. My goodness. I am so sorry. The animals are it can seem senseless. I would my recommendation would be to be with her like she has been with you all and your son, to hold the space just for her to go through whatever process she has to go through. And Patty Weeks, I know you and I have certainly talked about this with Freckles when Freckles was in transition. One of the greatest gifts we can ever give another is our presence and our compassion. And compassion is actually a cool energy. It's not it's not jumping into the movie. It's being understanding, it's being empathetic, it's holding the space, but it's allowing the other to go through whatever journey they need. And if they need to be a blanket on them, you know what to do. You're there to support the process. So that's a that's one of the ways actually we can help them heal. And the animals have always told me that death is actually a healing. It's not, sometime maybe we can talk about the word passing even. Something about the animals, they were highlighting this for me the other day, and I'm going to look into it a little further about the language we use around death and transition, but healing in general. There's so much life. Okay, they're saying there's so much life in death, in the dying process. And I'm not pointing to anybody dying per se, Tracy, even. It's just holding the space while we all go through whatever it is we're going through, and that's animal or human. Um, oh, Connie, yes, definitely reach out to me. Um, and Elizabeth, what's the best way to reach for help for our furry friends? I do one-on-one sessions with people. It's one of my favorite ways to connect. The animals get very in depth and detailed, and I've really enjoy connecting with people. The I think Melissa, I saw you on here today. She just has a um, wonderful dog and named Josie. And Josie was quite clear and funny, and they love to be part of the conversation. So you can reach out to me on my website, and I have all kinds of different you know sessions that we could do. But it's one of my favorite things in the world to work with people and their animals. So yes, I'd be honored. Um, let's see, Brian, our 20-year-old Tyson, who told you to tell us he is an angel in a dog's body, is at the vet, very, very sick. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, I saw that actually, that picture. Okay. You know what? When I read that, his energy feels very light to me, very transparent. And when animals are in that stage of passing, of transition, and transition, as you know, several of you know, can last for quite some time. That can actually be one of the signs that their energy feels transparent. When I saw the photo, he looked kind of that way to me. So why don't you keep me posted, because I know we talked about him last time, and when I glanced at that today right before I got on, um, and I think we're actually gonna, you know, I've got the questions and answers there. We'll put his picture up, and let me tune into him again. So yes, we'll circle back to that. Um, oh, Lisa, yes, the feral cats that I take care of have given me purpose. Lisa is an amazing, amazing animal magnet, cat magnet. The animals feel so safe in her presence, and she connects with them on a very deep level. She allows them to be who they are. They come and see her. They go where they need to, and it's just an amazing um, reciprocal relationship she has. And yes, they do. They've come to help you give yourself purpose, and they've chosen to be there, just like you've allowed them to stay and to help. So what you're doing is gifting not only those cats but all cats, the collective cat energy. It's a very, very beautiful thing that you do. I always like to see your photos. um, Observing without absorbing, as John always said. Yes, yes, observing without absorbing, I agree. And then Tracy, okay, my son and it's Cora are coming home Sunday. I will be holding space for them both. You know how to do that. You are an amazing space holder yourself. And so I would just, you know, when we hold space, it's like overlit. You have a lot of beings that come in to help you with that. A lot of the spirit guides for the animals, for you, they come in to help you hold the space. Um, and so, Patty, yes, when Shadow passed, it was one night. Freckles was 9 months. They both healed me with love every step of the way. Patty, I'd love for you to write about that, because I know during your journey of their transition and all the times we talked, you had your ups and downs. You had your, oh, am I doing the right thing? But I watched you, and you listened to your heart every step of the way, and you listened to them. I think it would be wonderful if you feel like it, writing about your journey, and then sharing it. Um, you're quite wise in that area, so it would help. It would help lots of people. Uh, oh, Leslie, you know what? That fell off the radar. Did you get a message from my sister? Let me look. Yep, let me look back at that. My apologies. It fell off radar. Thank you for reminding me of that, Lisa. I love being their protector. You know, we get as much out of it as they do, and they offer us the chance to grow in ways that we don't even realize we have. I've learned so much from the animals over my lifetime, and I'm still learning, and they still, you know, correct me or school me. Katie in particular did. And I wrote a blog, you know, the spiritual healing for any of it, like physical, emotional, the spiritual healing goes both ways. We both get benefit out of that. And I wrote, you know, an article about healing and posted on my blog. And I just wanted to read you a portion of it. And then I have a really special, I want to tell you about Doodle, and I have a special guest coming on. Um, I once asked Katie, one of my dearest friends, about healing, and she said healing occurs within and without, but healing can be painful and often is. Humans ask and pray for healing and have a specific goal in mind, when actually healing is a high vibration energy that responds to the area where it's needed most. It may or may not be the goal they have in mind. It may be physical or emotional or spiritual. When I asked her to explain more about how animals participate in this, she pointed to my own journey of physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. She was right, of course. So many times I've asked for healing, only to experience in a way that was totally unexpected. My own healings have been journeys in which I've been invited, well, forced, to look within at my own patterns and misunderstandings. Pretty sure I'm a slow learner, but the animals have had infinite patience with me, and they have consistently shown me how to take sturdy steps through their lives, how to be confident in myself. I watched Katie, she always knew who she was. and how to be authentic and not compromise who I am. That's the one thing. They're always genuine. They always are who they are. They don't show up as anything other than that. What great examples they've been and still are. And so, Renee, if you wouldn't mind popping Doodle's photo up, I want to show them and give them a brief. Doodle came into our lives, and I had seen her photo. I saw a little video of her, and she was this tiny little white poodle mix, and she had an arched back. So I don't know if she had, almost like she had rickets, or had experienced malnutrition in her life. So at any rate, Doodle came in our lives, and she could hardly walk, but she had this sturdiness to this little fragile body. And I would try to pick her up, and she would like squirm, and she'd, no, I can do this myself. And so I watched her as she would go down the steps. She would stumble, she'd pick herself back up. But she was so determined to learn how to walk herself. And the other dogs were, it was interesting to watch because it almost like she had a little dance with her walk, like she'll doodle dance. And the dogs just loved her. So she not only had this physical healing to overcome, that she was like, I've got this, you just, you just support me. And then she had this unbelievable ability to bring animals and people together. The animals adored her, and Sprout at the house now absolutely adored her, and would actually, if I had Doodle in a crate, Sprout would actually unlatch the crate to let her out. So it was this wonderful like friendship I would see from them, and I watched the healing that occurred not only with the, with herself, but also with the others in the group that help them uh, learn more about themselves and learn how to, she would say, lighten up. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. So I don't know, Renee, if you have that photo of Doodle. If not, that's fine. We can pop it up later. Um, but I'm happy to tell you that I also have somebody here I'd like to just share with you for a few minutes. I met Romy Park on a webinar I did with James Van Prague. And it was toward the end of the webinar when James and I were connecting with people, and she came on, and she had an amazing story about her dog Versace. And now she has another dog that is in her care, and it's just this remarkable healing story. And I asked her, she's beautiful inside and out. She's a wonderful artist, a dancer, an actress, and she does beautiful sketches. I've asked her to do some sketches before. She is just, I'm so grateful that I met her and met everybody. I met Janet there too on that webinar, met everybody here. It's just such a wonderful platform when we all come together. So if you would, please welcome Romy Park to the show, and we can hear her story. Hey, Romy.
Thank you so much for having me, Tammy.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. I just, I'm just amazed at the story that you do have to tell, because it wasn't just sort of a one-time event. It's the story that keeps telling itself, right? It's like the evergreen story.
Yeah, it really is, especially because, as you know, I'll tell everyone, Versace was very much my soulmate animal, if not just my regular full stop soulmate.
Mm,
Um, I met him and I wasn't even a dog person. I had been attacked by a dog when I was younger. So
mm,
I was a cat person growing up. We had cats. So I was not open to dogs at all. And that carried into my adulthood. Um, so I was not intending to get a pet. If I was, it was going to be a cat. Um, and then I saw Versace at a street rescue, and I actually felt my heart open up tenfold,
oh,
and the connection, and I just knew. I resisted it because I said, I've never had a dog before. I don't know how to take care of a dog. He needs somebody better than me. Um, and every instinct, I just couldn't get him out of my mind.
mm,
So
mm,
next 5, 6 hours, I'm at work, as I work down the street, and I couldn't stop thinking about him. He was imprinted on my heart, on my soul, and there you go. Bob's your uncle. He was my baby, and there was an instant connection. He knew I was his mom. It's like he was waiting for me.
hmm Hmm. Yeah, it's like he had his thumb out. He's like, "You gonna pick me up?"
Yes,
um,
especially
so
because
what did you do? Did you go back that day? Did you go back several days later? How'd that roll?
um, I went back that day, and so because I've always been afraid of commitment. I need to throw that out there because I did suffer trauma when I was 2.5 years old. My father passed away, and I remember it all. I didn't know
Mhm,
what was happening, but I do remember it, and that really left a mark on me that I didn't know. um, that I in fact, as I was getting older, was not healing. I was not evolving. I was very closed off because when you don't deal with something that traumatic that happens to you in your hard drive and you just bury it and you just throw things or more dirt on top of it,
mhm,
eventually it's going to find its way out.
mhm.
And so as I was getting older, I was just getting more and more closed off, and my light was dimming, and I felt it dimming. And I really did feel like there was no purpose, even though I was pursuing things in my career. I had no interest
Mm,
anymore.
mm.
So I was afraid of commitment. I was afraid of people and things leaving me. And and I remember telling the woman at the rescue, I'm going to foster him for a week because I need to make sure that it's the right fit for both of us. And that was very much for both of us. And
Mhm.
I loved him. So what I did was during that week was I found him an amazing home.
Ah,
I took him with me to work, and it was a really nice place, and people were coming in and saying, "Oh my gosh, what a beautiful dog." And I found him this wonderful home. They just lost their dog not too long ago. They were from a wealthy family. They were so nice and loving. And so the plan was that I was going to take him to the rescue, and then we would do a swap. So I bring him back, and they were going to be there waiting for me to sign the adoption papers, once the rescue approved them. And I had no doubt they would. But the day before I was supposed to bring him back, I couldn't do it. I
ah,
burst into tears at the thought of his ever leaving my side.
mm, mm.
I called her, left a message, and I was crying because I was so filled with emotion. I'm still filled with emotion now. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I do actually think that I am the best person for him. I said, I can't leave him because I love him too much. I couldn't be parted from him, and he couldn't be parted from me. Yeah, I felt that.
It was a setup. It was a setup. The old foster go, I'll take them the foster fail thing. Yep, yep. That's how they get in sometimes. Um, and Renee, if while we're talking, if you can pop up Versace's photos, that would be great. We have everybody's wanting to see him, but no, continue your story. So he came into your life, and your life changed.
My star started shining because of him.
Mm,
I felt brighter because of him, and I admit that I was a very selfish person up until that time. Everything was about me. I was the youngest child. The world revolved actress. The world revolved around me. Um, and for the first time, I felt a greater need, something outside of myself. And my purpose was him, to take care of him to the best of my ability. And that really, and of course, and I think Tammy, I don't know if you remember, I was in a very bad car accident
mm,
a year after I rescued him, and he very much saved my life. He was in the car with me, and that car accident really should have killed me or left me maimed for life, and it didn't. It was quite miraculous. He was unharmed, but I remember I wouldn't go to the hospital unless he came with me. I
wow.
refused. I was bleeding out, and I virtually walked away with almost no injuries at all.
Wow.
And but I got depressed, and I felt I was in a very dark place, and I had very suicidal thoughts, and I thought, I don't want to live, I don't know what to do. And he kept me alive because I said, he is my reason for living. If I
Mhm,
go, who's going to take care of him? No
mhm.
one is going to love him like I love him. And
Right.
he very much saved my life.
Wow. Wow. What a story, and what a healer. I mean, honestly, and you are too, but that's how it goes. We're wounded healers, and we have to go through our journeys. And here he comes, sliding into home base with you and catching you unawares. And of course, being the drop dead cute, gorgeous little guy he was, you just can't, in the name, you just can't write this stuff. Like he loves the name.
But I tried
Um,
to change it, and he wouldn't accept it.
so now you take the story into, you tried to change it to what?
Bear.
Okay. And
I
how'd that go?
I had Versace's names. Here's my name, owner. This is his tag, and it says Bear on the other side of it. He never left my side. He was always leashed. And I was putting him into his car seat in my parking garage. And I remember unleashing him to put him in, but then I was fixing something. Just for a split second, I looked down, he was gone. And
Oh
I'm
my.
shouting, Bear! I was freaking out, shouting his name in this, and I wasn't scared that he was gonna get out because it was enclosed, but I was still
You're in mom panic.
I
I
was in
get it. Yeah.
panic.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm screaming his name, nothing. And I had an instinct, and I just said very calmly, Versace, boom, right there next to me. And I said, right, that's your name. And I had his tags made up again because I knew that it was for his protection. Because if I needed to call him, he knew his own name. So
Right. So if you fast forward, and Versace passed in what year?
2015,
2015. And so just recently, within the last, would you say year? Is it a year now?
March 22nd.
So your timing's just great. I love this. So tell them, um, and we'll have to get you on to go through the other part of it. But if you fast forward to now a year ago in March, what went on? What was happening?
I always knew that I was gonna be a dog mom again. And I wasn't ready. First of all, I have to say that you told me that a dog was coming to me, and you were so great because I said, no, 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 I'm not ready. I'm financially stable. The pandemic's kicked my butt, and it would be so unfair for the dog. Um, and then all you said to me was to be open.
Yeah.
And that was, you didn't force me. You weren't trying to tell me you were right. You just said, be open. And I was like, okay. And I just let it go because I didn't see it happening because I wasn't going to look for him. And then I always said that I was going to be a dog mom again. And not because I thought I was ever going to replace Versace, but because I know I'm a good dog mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I could give a dog a good home.
Mm-hmm.
And but financially I wasn't in the right place. And so fast forward, my friend calls me up, and I'm not very close to her, which is funny. We're friendly, but she's more of an acquaintance. And she used to post pictures of Bear on Instagram in the stories. And I felt a connection to him even then because he was a Pomeranian. Versace was part Pom, and his name was Bear. So one day he just disappeared from her stories, and I got very worried about him. I was so concerned. And I messaged her and I said, what's going on with him? I go, is he okay? Is he alive? And I was really dreading that she was going to say that he'd crossed over. And she said, no, we moved and he's not well. He's not acclimating. He's hiding. He's not getting along with our other dog anymore. He's not in a good place. So I let that pass and I said, okay. She wasn't offering and I wasn't considering it either. 2 weeks later, she messages me. She goes, I know this is a long shot, but would you consider taking Bear? And we will continue to pay for his food, his poop bags, his medication, his vet visits. We will take care of him for life. And that was kind of a no-brainer for me because that was the only thing that was really stopping me.
Right. Exactly.
And 4 hours later, I was a dog mom again. And
So do you have Bear now?
he is right at my feet, keeping my feet warm, by the way. Come here, my darling.
Look. Oh, what a precious boy.
This
Oh,
is Bear. And, and by the way, he exhibits none of the health issues that they say that he had.
of course not.
He's
He's right where he needs to be. Yeah.
where he needs to be. And It's
How
interesting.
else was he gonna get to you, though? Think about it. That was a setup, the skin flare up, the whatever, the hiding, and he had to get to you. So it's interesting when you can track this stuff, how they come into our lives in the most unusual ways when we're least expecting it, when we're not looking, when they come around the corner. And here he is named Bear. That was what you were trying to name Versace. And you
And they're
have the tag
and they're
of
the same
Bear.
as well.
And
They would be exactly the same age.
Leslie was asking how old was Versace when he passed?
He was only 9,
Okay. Okay. And so how old is Bear now?
15 and a half.
15 and a half. Bear thinks he's extremely fortunate. He feels like he has just he started life with you. He has started life again. So that too is one of the greatest gifts we can offer another, especially animals, is when they come, just allow them to be who they are, which is what you've done.
Yeah.
You've loved him back to life is what you've done. And it's just an amazing journey the two of you have taken. Renee, if you wouldn't mind popping those photos back up, I want them to see Bear, and the some of those photos you have are very much laying the same way Versace did.
Oh,
It's striking.
when I
Look at
first
those 2 on the left with Versace on top and Bear. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Have you seen do you feel like they're very similar?
initially, no, but now it's like they've melded into one so much that I have to stop myself from saying Versace Bear.
Yes, yes,
Because,
yes.
I didn't know that in 2017, I was having both my dogs inked on my arm
Versace Bear.
because
Wow.
Bear is his last name, having no idea that he would be
Exactly.
my dog.
Exactly. So the healing, I mean, this is just, like I said, it's the story that keeps on giving. It's the never-ending story, and that's what I hope all of us understand with the animals. It's never ending. It never will end. It rolls into the next chapter, and he's brought life back to you, and you've brought life to him. And Versace is very pleased that you've followed all the steps you were supposed to, and that you have put all the dots together, like you have figured all the puzzle pieces. He's so pleased, um like it was almost a game of find this, then you go to the next piece and find that. Um, but Bear, he's just lovely and such a kind, kind soul. What's your favorite thing about him? He wants to know. He's like, do tell.
Well, I think you're beautiful, and I know that's important to you.
Yes, yes, yeah. Palms have airs, right?
They do, and Versace did as well. You know,
Right.
actually love, and his other mom told me that he wasn't gentle, but
Yeah.
he's all he is gentle. I
Yes.
love his soft nature because Versace was definitely more assertive and much more of an alpha. And Bear just seems like he's so secure in himself. He could be like, "Well, I don't need to be in charge. I can be, but it's not
Mhm.
important."
Mhm.
He has
Mhm.
confidence about himself, and
Mhm.
it's something that he's what I've always wanted to be.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you see in him the things that you would like in yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the way it was with Katie. Was so knowing herself, and she didn't compromise who she was for anything. She didn't do anything to please anybody. She was clear on who she was, and I was like, gosh, I need to be more like that. Like, right? So it's really wonderful how they come and they mirror things for us to see.
And he very much cemented the healing that, because as you know, Tammy, and you helped so much, and I'm so grateful for you because
Oh,
I really went through quite a hard time when Versace passed.
oh,
Um, and
yes.
darkness lasted, I was on, I have to tell the story of James Van Praagh. I did that webinar because I wanted to meet Tammy.
Oh,
There were 3 guests on 3 different every week, and I signed up because I felt a draw towards Tammy. And
Oh.
when they were doing the readings on that last day, I mean, they were picking randomly, and there were only about 6 people being
Mm.
chosen out of the hundreds that were there. And I actually prayed to Versace and I said, "Versace, I need to talk to you. Please let me be chosen. I need to
Mm.
speak to you. This is so important to me. I'm in so much pain still. And I know Tammy and James was great, but I knew it was Tammy, it was you."
Oh, good kind.
And then all of a sudden I got chosen and I was like, "Oh my God." I fell off my chair and I was so thrilled. Um, but and then we read shortly after that, or actually was it? I think it was a year after that, maybe.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and then after we spoke, I went through a lot of healing with you. You told me a lot of things that had you confirmed it, everything that I had been feeling.
Right.
But with having Bear here, it's now when I think about Versace, I don't think about the pain anymore
Oh.
because that was what has really held me, the pain of his passing,
Mhm,
um, the pain of not having him there. I just was focusing on everything that was negative, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember any of the good times.
mhm,
It's like they had been erased from my memory.
mhm.
Um, and now with Bear, I feel like I can enjoy my memories of Versace and enjoy having Bear and feeling a little bad. And there was a part of me that felt bad, and I had to talk to Versace. And I said, "I'm not neglecting you. I haven't forgotten you." And I
Right.
feel so guilty. So I hope you don't mind that I'm giving so much love to your brother. I call him brother because,
Love just expands. Love expands, and that's what we learn. We get broken open, and the love just gets larger. Our hearts can crack open, and it just reveals more heart.
yeah.
And so I think for you, this wonderful healing that you've had and continue to have, what a gracious gift from Spirit. It is an unbelievable story. It's a beautiful story. And it's a story that is continuing the adventures of Versace and Bear and Romy. And you'll have to share, like she danced with Versace, she dances with Bear. And
Things-
so
Yeah.
yeah, you've brought joy back to him, but he's brought it to you. And what greater gift than we can give each other, right? So I'm so honored that you came on. And for any of you that ever want any sketches, she's an amazing animal communicator in that well, first of all, she connects with animals on a very deep level. And she does these beautiful sketches. I have her work on some for me. And if you ever want her to do anything, her info is up there and you can reach out to her. She's very incredibly talented artist in so many ways and such a dear friend. And I'm so appreciative that you came on and shared with us, because what a healing journey. Like, this is like the signature healing journey.
Yes, and I want to explain. It's really funny because I know mostly everyone has heard of automatic writing,
Mm.
and I, I mean, I drew when I was younger, but I didn't necessarily take formal lessons. And because I am an attuned Reiki master, so I work with energy, and it's funny because I can heal people, and I've seen it happen, and yet I was so lost in healing myself. I couldn't heal myself. I needed Versace and Bear to help me, but I very much have to call the animals.
Mm.
And it's as if it draws itself. It
Mm.
feels like automatic writing
That's
because
beautiful.
I can feel their energy.
Hmm.
And I just said with the one, I said, very gentle.
Hmm.
Or there's always an adjective. And I said, "Oh, this dog is very this cat's very this." And the one I'm doing now, and I said, "She told me not to fuss with the ears. Her ears don't matter.
Right.
Her nose and her eyes are really important."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay, well, help me along here." And I just kind of let my hand do its thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it's
That's
it's such
wonderful.
it's such it's such a beautiful experience because I feel so much peace because I
Hmm.
can feel the animals at peace,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
makes me quite happy.
Yes, that is so wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I've appreciated being on. And I will start to take questions in a few minutes. But if you ever need anything from Romy, she's the one. She's really good. Thank
Thank
you, my friend.
you
Okay.
for me. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye. So I've got some questions from you all that, I'm anxious to get to because it's such what a rich show it's been already. So Renee, if you wouldn't mind popping the photos up we have, I'd like for you guys to share with me as I do some readings and see what you feel as well and participate in it. So if we can start that, there we go. I will definitely go on. So Bobby Allen, I got this from her. I'm going to see if I can read it. This is Dolly when we first adopted her. She was so afraid of all men, all noises. I want to say in the wind. It took a little over a year before she trusted my husband. But when we adopted her almost 3 years ago, let's see, the three of us knew we were meant to be together. Absolutely. I totally 100% agree. I feel her healing us more mutual understanding between her and my husband. Um, how to quietly go in and reflect and to find peace and to overcome trauma that had affected she had associated with men. Your husband, and you are to be a witness. Your husband is it's like a soul contract that they had together to help each other. It's an amazing journey and a gift because she's been so afraid of just being alone with men. So she does have a trauma history, but what a wonderful example that your husband's showing with gentleness and kindness and safety, safety, and that trust. Trust is a big word for her. So thank you for sharing that. She's really, really beautiful. Very, very intelligent. Very intelligent. Oh, this is Tommy. Clara, he's so sweet. This is a little boy who has had lots of little different issues with his body, but when I connected with him, he was like, "I'm full of life. If you can just hang with me, I'm going to be okay." And Clara is like the most amazing mom ever. She's never given up on him. She's always thinking of ways to support him, and she posted a really, really just uplifting video of him so full of life. He was like, "I am not done yet. Please don't give up on me." And Clara, that is one of the best gifts you've ever given to anybody. And I would say you turn that on yourself too. Tommy is just he's resilient. He's got a lot of life, and he says, "I'm very spunky." He is very spunky. So I hope that helps. Patty, I saw this. This is Kiki. She wandered onto our property at a time when I was in great despair. I'd shut down and no one could get through. The cat sat with me, cuddled. We went for nature walks. She stayed by my side and was of great comfort. Kiki still sleeps next to me at night and watches over me. We have a connection, are able to communicate easily. Can you please let her know how appreciative I am? Um, that she was sent when she was, and if there's anything I can do for her, she's a great healer. Her presence is quietly dynamic. I am blessed. Patty, I love this. I love quietly dynamic. That's just a wonderful description of how she lives her life and really, Patty, how you live yours. You're quietly dynamic. You approach things with a grace and a dignity for all beings. And so I feel like she came as your soul sister to to be with you on this journey of animal communication that you do every day of your life and helping me with all my animals and connecting with them on a very deep level. You two go back a ways, so it's like you found each other again. So thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, Martine, he is adorable. Um, and I want to say is it Cairo? I can't. The type's really small, and I think I remember his name because you named him Harlan to begin with, and then you switched his name. Um, that he's a little bit, I think, shy. Why he stays so weary from seeing, observing toddlers. He says they've got like crazy energy. He's like too. It's too. The movement's too much, so he doesn't like that. Black and white, and also full white colored dog. not a fan of it. Um, he is extraordinarily sensitive. Um, he picks up on things that are so subtle that it can look, kind of like what's wrong. But he is actually developing quite a bit, as you are with his psychic and all the gifts that you're developing. He's developing them right along with you. He is absolutely adorable, and he loves that you think he's handsome, by the way, and that you cared for him enough to bring him all the way to your home, and you waited on him for months and months to come. So he is definitely a soulmate, and um, actually knows Troy, by the way. So this is a dog that you would be able to connect with very easily, send messages, send pictures. He's very visual. So you can always practice that with him. And I would just be patient with, and just observant. If he shies away from something, just trust that he sees something that's not good with him, and don't force him into it. Not that you would anyway. So thank you for sharing him. So glad you did. Hey, Tina. Let's see. I read this earlier. Is it Ciggy? And we put him down prematurely because of a dental condition, two different vets, but he was 16 years old, and they said it was not fair to take out all his teeth and that he would be in a lot of pain. So we put him down, feel it was wrong, wrong decision. So I'm wondering if he wants to come back and help us excel in animal communicating, if he can feel we love him still, we miss him terribly. First of all, I know how you feel. I've been there when I have felt like I have prematurely done something, and was it the right thing? And then I had a dream one time that the dog came back in the door, and I was like, oh gosh, he was wanting to come back in. It can be very upsetting, but I can tell you from his perspective, um, he was fine. He feels like he was very complete in his life, and that he doesn't want you to blame yourself over it. And also that if you are wanting to work on the animal communication part, he's your guy. He would be really easy to do that with. First of all, because he's on the show, right? So these animals make their way onto the show for a reason, just FYI. Um, and they're already communicating. You may think that you're putting them on, you got a question. They're actually leading you to it. So I would definitely connect with him through your heart, like we've talked about, and ask him questions, ask him to show up in your dreams. But you didn't do anything prematurely, he says. He was fine. He said he left very easily, and is he's in this fresh new space. So he definitely can connect with you, and you with him. So keep us posted on this. And thank you for sharing him. He's gorgeous. He said he was always very gorgeous in life. Oh, Vicky. Yes. Okay. So Tyson. So his energy right now, again, and I don't know if you've had any updates or you're still on the show, feels really, really fragile, really transparent, very, very light. Like his energy's very, very light. So, he may be very close to transitioning out. That's what angels do. They can leave very suddenly, very quietly, very his energy feels quiet to me. So please let us know, Vicky, about that. Email me, let me know so I can, touch base with you. Hey, Tammy. Amazing, amazing person Tammy McCarthy is with cats. Oh my goodness. Cat communicator extraordinaire. This is Eaton. He passed last year. He helped me heal through many things during his time here. He especially helped me through severe depression. He always looked at me with such extreme love, as if he were always smiling. Oh my goodness, he smiles with his eyes, he said. He also helped my other cats with healing. He took care of them all, and if they had injuries, he'd always lay with them and care for them. When Eaton got sick with congestive heart failure, I'd sit with him in a chair, and the other cats would join. I think they wanted to try to help Eaton to heal. He was the most loving cat I've ever known. You have a cat sanctuary. You have a cat sanctuary heart, all the animals that come to you come very specifically, and we've talked about several of yours. They're amazing teachers and healers, and through all of your photos and sharing of your stories of them, you help us learn about them. He is so pleased, so very pleased that he was able to help you in a way. There's such a dignity to him, such an honor, like he is bowing down to you. He's got an amazing spirit, and he says he's helping you with the other cats too. So I don't know, because that's not done. He's still helping heal, still helping the others. So I don't know if you felt him, seen him, but definitely he's around. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Rebecca, this is, let me see if I pronounce it right. Koichi, I think, is the right pronunciation. Our middle child, we are both so in love with her. She's a very shy dog. We feel she is very grounding for us. She was the run of the litter and has some challenges, but never shows it. She has very slow processing speed. She does everything at her own pace, and we honor that. Is she here to teach us something specific? She is very direct, actually, for her being kind of, as shy or quiet. She is very deliberate. She says about her actions and choices, and she says, I take careful steps. I take careful steps. And so I don't, she very much likes that you have brought that up in this show, because she says we all need to take more careful steps. We all need to be more deliberate in our choices that we make. And so sometimes we do need to slow down. She has this wonderful internal world. She is a busy girl on the inside. So she says to watch her, and she said her eyes will tell everything. And so I feel like she communicates with you um, on a very deep level all the time. She says you always know what she's thinking. So I don't know what she's referencing, but she's very, very pleased that she can help the group as well by teaching us as well. Thank you so much for sharing her, for all of us. Very appreciative. There you are, Lisa. Is it Pootie with another stray that came to my door? Lisa's the one we talked to earlier. She would stare at me through the screen door for months. Um, she was friendly all the time. I had Pilot. It's when you had Pilot. I wasn't ready for another cat. But as the story goes, let's see, C Pilot's brother, Gunner, let's see, one day left and never came. So after months, I finally let this other cat in, and the cat came right over to me and laid right on my chest. And I was having chest pain, and it was strange. I looked over at Pilot, and he just looked at me all chill. The pain in my heart and my chest went away. This new cat in my life saved my life and healed me right there on the spot. I was truly grateful, because as soon as I let her in and I had to lay down. Now, isn't that a miracle? God loved me as he really does. I've been graced many times. That is such a beautiful story um, of grace and healing, and how you are so connected, and all you have to do is follow your heart. Your heart's always going to lead you right to the cats that are needing help and that are going to help you. So I would trust that whoever shows up for you is on purpose and on cue. There will be no question. Just like Tammy McCarthy, on cue and on purpose, on cue. So yes, you're very similar energies. Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful story. And Amy, this is Murphy laughing, because let's see, he came from the place, had spotlight on him. So I believe that Murphy wants to be acknowledged in a big way. Murphy transitioned 11 months ago. He's still very much with us and part of the family. My question is, how do our beloved fur babies help us heal when only their spirits are left here? I don't know, in listening to Romy's story, this may answer part of that, what your question is. I know that my animals that have transitioned have helped me with the show, have helped me with clients, have helped me when I'm needing a certain thing. So they actually can help in a very high vibrational way that is um, fast, and it's that transparency and that high vibration they have now can reach us very quickly. So I would there's not a deficit. In other words, to me it's an expansive way that they can help. So I guess I would ask you, have you felt him? Have you felt the spirit? Have What have you felt? So I would start looking at, well, wait a minute, I felt him here and I felt him there, and acknowledge, oh, they are here. Like, that's how they show up. It's just different form. So I hope that helps. That's a really great question, because again, they keep showing up. They keep showing up. Oh, well, my goodness, we've gone over a little time, but I'm so grateful that you came tonight, and what a wonderful group. I love your stories. I love your sharing. We're all learning together. The animals you're bringing are amazing. It's all a setup. They just got us together so we can just talk and grow. Um, I thank you for coming on a Wednesday, and wherever you are. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Keep sharing, keep loving, and let's keep the conversation going. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here.
You've been enjoying Tammy's Soul Speak, featuring animal intuitive and medium Tami Hendricks.